Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR HALACHA. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Sunday, 6th day of October, 7th day of Tishrei. Very close to Yom Kippur. More laws that we need to tell you right before Yom Kippur. Um, actually, here's a Havdala one. At the end of Yom Kippur, the Havdala will consist of a bracha of Borei Ma'orei Ha'esh, a bracha of Borei Pri Hagafen, and then the usual Hamavdil bracha. It's just interesting for you to note that we're not really making the bracha of Borei Me'orei Ha'esh for the same exact reason that we do it on a Saturday night at the end of Shabbos. At the end of Shabbos, we make the bracha of Borei Me'orei Ha'esh because a fire was created on Saturday night, right after that first Shabbos, and we kind of acknowledge that by making a bracha of Borei Me'orei Ha'esh on fire on a Motzoi Shabbos on a Saturday night. But fire was not created on Motzei Yom Kippur, on the night after Yom Kippur, right? So there's a whole other reason why we are saying the bracha of Borei Ma'orei Ha'esh at the end of Yom Kippur, and it's because fire was prohibited to us all day. A lot of the laws of Shabbos apply on Yom Kippur also, pretty much almost all of them, and although with only minor differences here and there. And therefore, at the end of Yom Kippur, since the fire was usher or prohibited all day long, just like it is on Shabbos. Therefore, we want to make a special bracha on it when we use it at the end of Yom Kippur, on Motzei Yom Kippur, on the night of Yom Kippur. So for that reason also, it's best to use a fire that was lit all day on Yom Kippur. That sort of acknowledges that situation better. This is fire that was kind of like resting, it wasn't used or lit, but it was just remaining lit throughout the entire day of Yom Kippur and was lit before Yom Kippur, and then we light from that fire to say the Havdala bracha on fire on the night after Yom Kippur. Okay, you get that? I didn't say that so clearly. So we want to use a ner, a lit light that was lit throughout, it was resting, and not. I'm not saying this clearly. It was lit before Yom Kippur. No one dared to light that candle in the middle of Yom Kippur, so it's called to get rested that whole Yom Kippur. And then you light from it, and that's how you light your Havdalah candle on the night at the end of Yom Kippur. I hope that's more clear. If you can't find a light that was lit all of Yom Kippur from before Yom Kippur, or you had one but it blew out or anything like that, you could use a regular light if you have to. It's just better to try to get yourself a light that was resting throughout the entire Yom Kippur, meaning lit before Yom Kippur and stayed lit throughout Yom Kippur. Okay, sorry if that sounded complicated. At the end of Yom Kippur, you, of course, are going to want to eat. When you sit down to eat, do not sit down with a somber feeling of, oy vey, it was Yom Kippur and I'm going to die, and you're supposed to actually have an uplifted, happy feeling. I gave myself over to God. God knows what to do with me. He takes good care of me. Whatever He decides for me is, of course, for the best, and I am cradled in His control, and that's a good feeling. That's a happy feeling, and you should eat in happiness. At the end of Yom Kippur, feel awashed. I've been through the mikveh of Yom Kippur. I'm pure. I have a fresh start. God has forgiven me. And those are your feelings at Yom Kippur night when you eat. And it's a great idea to start building your sukkah then, because you want to show that you're going right into mitzvah. If you're like me, then you probably have a funny feeling when you hear those words, start building your sukkah after Yom Kippur, because people like me, and I know there are others out there of you guys who are like me, I started building my sukkah a long time ago. My sukkah is like, I'm scared to leave it till the last 4 days because, I don't know, I might have to go get stuff, I just start earlier to make sure I'm get it done properly. So if you started your sukkah earlier, that's okay, but just try to involve yourself with continuing the sukkah, touching it up or decorating it or whatever, something that shows, God, I'm with you all the way. I just did my Yom Kippur, and I'm going to actually go right to the next mitzvah, right to preparing my sukkah. That's the appropriate way to feel and act after Yom Kippur is over. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.